how's it going? Welcome to episode 2 of the podcast here at Porunga's Palace. And today I was going to go over, like I said in the intro, what I played at my locals today. But seeing as we didn't have enough people to go have one actually go off, I'm just going to go over some Dropbox 5 cards like everyone else has been doing, but I kind of want to give my take on what cards I think will be good and definitely must pickups for this draft box. And we got quite a bit of them actually. So let's just dive right into it. For red, I think, which I'm looking at the very first card here, is the SSB Kaioken Sun Goku Concentrated Destruction. It's a 15k 3-drop deflect auto. When you play this card from your hand, choose all your opponent's battle cards with power 20 or less and KO them. Then activate main. Pay 2 red if your leader is red, and you place this card from your hand to the drop area. You could choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets negative 25 power for the turn. That's pretty powerful for a 3-drop. It's got a deflect, great effect when you play it, and great effect if you just placed it from your hand to the drop area. Just bam. So that's definitely, you're going to want to get a must of that. It is an SR, so definitely keep your eye out for that card when you're doing your drafts. Next card for red is Android 17 Rebel Reinforcements. It's a counterattack, cost 2, negate it. It's a counterattack, negate the attack, play this card, then choose up to one red battle card with an energy cost of 1 in your drop area and play it. So it's a 1 for 2 and negates an attack. It's a rare, so definitely a card that's going to see some play, especially for red. So definitely keep your eye out for that card. And that card would be great. And just right off the top of my head, Pan, you negate the negate the attack. Excuse me, can't talk. You could play this card. It gets a buff, draws you a card, and then it's going to play another 1-drop from the drop area that you've gotten rid of. So maybe like a Self-Awakener card or just anything in general that you've already have in your drop area for Pan. So you're going to negate attack, get 2 bodies, and draw a card with just the Pan leader. And that's just off the top of my head. Definitely pick up that card. Scrolling on down here. Here's a common that I think you want to keep an eye out just because it has a lot of utility. It's Friesen Double-Edged Sword. It costs 5. It's permanent. This card can't be played from any area cannot be played from any area by skills except its own. And its activate main cost 4. Choose up to one of your battle cards and one of your opponent's battle cards. The chosen cards get negative 25 power for a duration of a turn, then play this card from your hand. So you can actually cheat it out for 4 just from its activate main if it's in your hand. And it has another activate main. Choose one Universe 7 card from your hand, place it in the drop area, and add this card from your drop area to your hand. So you can just get it back. It's a common, but I would say pick up your copies of it. And this card's actually not terrible just to draft with in general. So definitely keep your eye out for that card when you're doing your drafts. Scrolling on through here. Next card is going to be... I think it'll be a bomb card. I don't think it'll be great for play, but it's a card I do want to mention because it could be something that might see some play, might not. I'm going to go with might not, but it's a cool card nonetheless, even for draft. It's a Gano, Spurt of Prey, Double Strike, Deflect, auto, play this card. Auto, this card gets negative 15 power for the turn. When one of your opponent's cards, when one of your opponent's cards attacks, negate the attack. So it's going to lose 15 when it has an auto and your opponent attacks. And this card also costs 5, double red. And it has an activate main. Choose 2 skillless battle cards in your drop area and remove them from the game. Switch this card to active mode. So I think this might just be a draft bomb that you can play, but I could see it maybe being a constructed play. Maybe. Not too sure. Gotta wait to see. But definitely, I would say keep your eye out for this card. And if you have no other picks to get, just grab it and you'll have your copy of it. Scrolling on through here. Not seeing much more. Okay. That might be it for the red cards. No, we got a few more going through here. Got some interesting red Universe 11 cards that might be utilized. Oh, here we go. Flight of the Grand Eagle. This card's just great for red. It costs 1 red. It's an extra card. Counterattack. Choose up to one of your leader cards or battle cards, and it gets plus 100k power for the battle. Permanent. If your leader card is red, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by choosing 2 of your non-token battle cards and reducing their power by 10 for the duration for the turn instead of paying its costs. So it already costs 1 and you don't even have to pay that for it if you want to play this card. This card's pretty nuts and definitely something red needed because after image technique just wasn't, in my opinion, cutting it anymore as far as negates for red. So this card is just going to be better to have. So definitely pick up your copies of this if you see them in your drafts. This is definitely a must-have for red. So get your copies. Scrolling on through here. I see meditation. This card was talked about early on when it was spoiled. It's a common. I'd say pick them up if you want to try this card. I don't know if I'll be playing this card very much, and I don't know how great it will be in constructed, but it will be interesting to see. So this card is something probably just to keep your eye out for if you don't have any other options for picks. Now we're moving on to blue. Right off the bat, Master Roshi Maximum Muscle. It's a 6-drop double blue. It has critical dual attack barrier. Auto. When you play this card, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and place them at the bottom of their owner's deck. And it also has another auto. Auto, at the end of your turn, draw a card. I just see a lot of potential for this card just in mono blue, like mono blue SS3, because it only costs 6, so it could be basically a 6-drop bomb for that deck. This card, I love this card for a Master Roshi, so I definitely would pick up this card for blue, just because it's, if you're going to be playing like the new SS3, this card I feel would take place maybe of Dragon Fist if you want. It's because it has barrier and such. And it's crit and it's dual attack and it costs 6. And it's going to draw you a card every turn. And, it has... Thank God this card doesn't have return 2 cards to your opponent's hand I'm glad it says at the bottom of the deck, because blue just has a lot of cards that just return cards to hand, which in this game just does absolutely nothing to them. They're just going to play it again. That just doesn't do remotely anything to them. But putting them at the bottom of the deck gets rid of it, and they have to see it again. So definitely pick up this card if you're going to be playing blue, in my opinion. Scrolling on, scrolling on through. This 7-drop Android 17. Android 17, Turning the Tide. 7, triple blue. Critical Deflect, auto. When you play this card, choose all cards in your hand and your opponent's hand, and all battle cards in your opponent's drop area, and shuffle them into their owner's deck. So basically, it's like a Gogeta 7, but it's an Android 17. So, can we just get rid of Gogeta 7 already? We got this card. It's not as degenerate. I would play this over Gogeta 7 in my opinion, for me personally. So I think they did this to maybe replace that, or have other people play a different type of card other than Gogeta 7. I don't know why they just didn't flat out just ban it, and then knowing that this card has been coming out, people had another option. I would say pick up this card definitely, if you're going to be playing blue. Next card, or scrolling on down, trying to find the next card, excuse me. Oh, and probably like arguably the money card of this set, probably definitely the money card for blue, is Hit Deadly Vanguard. 5 double blue, counterplay. If the battle card being played has an energy cost of 5 or less, it returns to its owner's hand instead of being played. When you play this card permanent during your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. And it also has another permanent. This card can't be returned to your hand by your skills. And then it also has an auto. When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost 5 or less and return it to its hand. So this card is great. Definitely great for blue. It's probably going to replace a few things in the blue deck in a lot of decks, or just be added. I feel like this might take place of the blue UI Gokus from the Dropbox 4, just because it's better. So yeah, definitely hate draft this card in my opinion, just because it's gonna be money. It's gonna be worth something. I would take this just because of the value that it's gonna have, and if you get a playset of these during a draft, or even just one or two, hate draft them, keep them, and then when you see them spike in price, just let them go, or keep them if you want them for copies to play in decks. Either way, it's a win-win. Definitely keep your eye out for this card when you're drafting. Next, let's see here. Going on through. Oh, a Booney After Image Slash. This card is nuts. It's 4 double blue deflect permanent. If an after image token is in play in your battle area, this card can't be KO'd. And then as an auto, when you play this card, play 3 after image tokens. The after image tokens have 15 power, 0 combo cost, and have 5,000 combo power. And then as an activate main, once per turn, your opponent reveals the top card of their deck. If it's a battle card, at the start of your opponent's next main phase, choose up to one of your blue energy and switch it to active mode. This card is crazy, 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 crazy. And even if it gets hit by anything to when on the play, you still get that. You still get the tokens because the auto is still going to trigger. So you're still getting 3 tokens. It's a pretty nutty card, and a definitely must pick up if you see it in your drafts. Let's see here. Going on through the blue card still. There is this Universe 11 Dispo Sonic Subversion. It costs 2 auto. Return this card to its owner's hand, and then choose up to 1 card in your life and add it to your hand. When your opponent plays a battle card with energy cost greater than the current energy, choose this card. Choose that card and return to its owner hand. And it also has another auto. When this card is removed removed from your battle area by any of your opponents skilled or KO'd, it draws a card. I'm not quite sure about this card. I think it's a card to keep on your radar. Because I see it. I think it has potential. So you could take that for what it's worth. Definitely, if you see any other cards I've mentioned before, especially the hit, you take that card over this card, definitely. But just keep your eye out for this card. Just wanted to bring this card to light to some people, and I think it could be good. Just going to have to wait and see. Scrolling on through. No. Oh, now we're in the green. So that was all the blue. Let's see. Ooh. Ribrianne, Avatar of Affection. It's a 5-drop, double green. Triple strike, permanent. If your leader card is green and this card is in rest mode, your opponent can only attack this card. So it's like a deadly defender. It also has an auto. When you play this card from your hand, choose all your opponent's battle cards, ignore and bury it, and KO them. And also has has 2 autos. The second auto is when this card is removed from your battle area by any of your opponent's skill or KO, choose up to 1 green battle card with energy cost of 4 or less in your drop area. Play it with its skills negated for the turn. This card's pretty nutty for what it does. Maidens, I think, are going to be seeing a comeback if they haven't already, which I'm sure they have in some fashion in some decks. Like Jiren definitely has some maidens in it, but they're getting more support, which is great. Definitely pick up this card for green. Oh, that's right. Another Ribrianne. The Ribrianne Punishing Passion. Yeah, this card's nuts. It's a 2-drop. Activate main, double green. If your leader card is green, and you send this card from your drop area to the warp, your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand and places them in the drop area. Card's nuts. Again, it's a maiden. And it's just nuts. Definitely pick up your copies of this as well. This card's going to be great. Definitely a must-have for green. Moving on down. And I think I had another list. Here we go. Here's that list. I did make another list. Oh yeah, there's the the Beastly Maiden. I can't pronounce the first name. The Kaka Kakunsa? Kakunsa. I think that's how it is. Anyways, it's Kakunsa Beastly Maiden. It's a counterattack. It costs 4. Well, the energy cost for this is 4 and 1 green. It's 4 with 1 green. Counterattack. Negate the attack, then play this card. Permanent. If your leader card is green and it's on your opponent's turn, reduce the injury cost of this card by 2. So it's a 2 cost negate. And then has an auto. When you play this card, choose the one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Definitely a must pick up. It's an SR. This is another must for green. So pick these up while you can. Or not while you can, when you can, when you're doing your drafts, excuse me. And then moving on through. The Zerloin Maiden Supporter. It's an SR. It's 5 double green. It's a 5 double green 30k. It has 3 autos here. First auto. When you play this card, choose up the 1 green battle card in your hand with an energy cost of 4 or less and play it. Auto. KO this card when your opponent attack. Okay, excuse me. Let me. Auto. KO this card when one of your opponent's cards attacks your opponent. Your opponent cannot attack with battle cards for the turn. Okay. So that's in. Wow. And then as a third auto, when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skilled or KO'd, choose up the 1 green battle card with energy cost 4 or less in your drop area. Play with the skills negated. So this card has a lot of value when it's played, and it does a lot of stuff when it gets removed as well. So definitely keep your eye out for this card for green. Maiden's definitely getting some good support. Moving on through page 5. Scrolling, just grazing through here. See if there's anything else to be mentioned. Heart Arrow of Love. I think this card just barely this card, I'm not sure about this card. I don't know if see constructively, but anyways, it's a 1 green extra card. It's a rare. Activate battle. Choose one of your green leaders or battle cards that gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. Then, if it's your turn, choose up 2 of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 3 less and KO them. I can see this card being played. I just don't know if it will be very good. It's definitely something to keep your radar on for. And if you want to give it a try, definitely pick them up. But if not, I don't think this card will be very much even in the secondary market. So you'll probably be able to pick up copies of this pretty cheaply even after the release of the draft box on the secondary market. Scrolling on through once again. Now we're hitting the yellow. Nothing on the first page. I could see this uncommon Kale Uncontrollable Rage. It's a 4-drop. It has crit, dual attack, deflect. It's a 20k beater that attacks twice and has critical and has deflect. I could see this being played in a U6 deck, definitely. It's an uncommon, so it's something that you could, I would say, pick up if you want to play Universe 6 in this format coming up. Oh, this card. Hit the Revoker. It's a 3-drop, double yellow counterplay. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's energy, switch them to rest mode, then play this card. This card is pretty nutty. Probably see play in a lot of tricolor decks, mono yellow decks, probably a lot of things that want to abuse the tap down effects that this draft box is bringing, because it's bringing a lot of nutty stuff when it comes to putting your opponent's energy in rest mode. Definitely keep your eye out for this card. It's a rare. I would pick it up if you see copies of it. Moving on through. Oh, probably the Raiders' war cry of this draft box, Bergamo, Furious Roar. It's a 5-drop. Auto, 1 yellow, 1 of anything else. When one of your opponent's cards is switched to rest mode by one of your skills, play this card from your hand. So it basically costs 2. And then it has an auto. If your leader is yellow or a Universe 9 card, when you play this card, choose up 2 of your opponent's battle cards within battle cards and or energy, ignoring barrier, and switch them to rest mode. Card is busted, especially since you can just play it for 2. It's tapping down your opponent's energy, and you're getting a 20k body out on the field. It's nuts. Definitely, in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of others, the Raiders' war cry of this draft box. Definitely hate draft this card just for money purposes and just to have them if you're going to be playing yellow. Moving on through. Not seeing much on this. Maybe next page. Page 7. Ooh. Jaren, Army of 1. Cost 9. Triple yellow, quadruple strike, dual attack. But it's auto. If your opponent has 4 or more energy at the start of your charge phase, if this card is the only card in your hand, you may play this card from your hand. That's pretty nutty for a 35k body. Quadruple strike, dual attack. And if it's the only card left in your hand, you can just play it. I like this card just because I like Universe 11 and I like Jiren. He's the thick boy after all. I would say pick up this card if you see him. I could see it having a lot of potential. Whether or not it will be money, I'm not sure, but possibly. I'd say pick it up. Moving on through. Not seeing much more, I don't think. There was another Bergamo. Did I overlook it? I think I did. We're gonna go back through. We'll go back to page 6. Churls with the rest of the Bergamos. I just overlooked it. There's the Furious Roar. Ah, yes, this Bergamo. It's a rare. 7-drop. 2 yellow. Bergamo. Lupin Predator. Triple attack barrier. Permanent. When all your opponent's energy is in rest mode, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 3. So it basically will cost 4. Auto, when you play this card, choose all your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barriers, switch them to rest mode, and this card can't be switched to active until the start of your next main phase. So it's a 25k triple attack barrier, that you can play for 4, and it switches stuff to rest mode. Yeah, definitely pick this card up. Again, there's gonna be a lot of cards coming out in this set that switching stuff to rest mode to let you cheat out stuff for cheaper. And so this Bergamo, I would say, is definitely a must-have for yellow. And if you're going to be playing decks like that. Okay, so that was all the yellow cards. So we can move on to black. Does all the black cards start on page 8? I'm gonna go to 7, go all the way down. Nope, that definitely starts on 7. Okay. Okay. Some go through Strength of Legend, super rare, permanent. Only one copy of this card can be played in your battle area, and this card can't evolve into other cards. It's a 9-drop. Activate main if you have at least one mono red, mono blue, mono green, mono yellow, and mono yellow card in your drop area, and have 4 more energy. Play this card from your hand. And it has an activate main once per turn. 1 red, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 yellow. Switch this card to active mode. It gains critical, double strike, and dual attack for the turn. I don't know if this card's a must-have, but I see potential in this card. And I think someone will try to make this card broken if they're playing black. So I'd say it's something to keep your eye out for. Pick up your copies if you want. And then there's the Vegeta Strength of Legend, which is kind of the same as that Goku. It's a double strike, dual attack. Activate main, 1 red, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 yellow. Play this card from hand. Then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and send it to their opponent's warp. And then send it to your opponent's warp, and then as an auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card. And it's a 30k. That can be 4. So I see this card again, just like the Goku, having potential, and I think some people will try to make this card busted, just like that Goku. Pick up your copies if you want to try it out. Rolling on through here. Next page. Not seeing very much that I feel would be like must-haves. Ooh. Survival of the Fittest. Jiren Survival of the Fittest. Cost 2. It's a counterplay. Play this card, draw 1 card, and then and cards in your hand can't be returned to your deck by your opponent's skills for the turn. So this card, probably a sideboard card, and definitely a sideboard card against cards that are returning stuff to your hand by your opponent's skills. But it is a rare. I would say it's a pickup just to have your copies of it, just because it's a rare. Now, is it going to be that expensive? I don't think so, but I don't think so just because of the fact I think it might just be a sideboard card. But I would say pick them up. It's a good card to have in your sideboard. Ooh, Protector of the People. This is a must-have, though. It's a one black extra card, counterattack, negate the attack, and then you may choose 1 card from your hand, place it in the drop area. If you do, choose one of your leader cards that gains the following effects for the duration of the turn. When this card is attacked by a battle card, it gets plus 5k for the turn. This card is nuts. It can be played in anything. Definitely pick this card up. It's a good one costing black extra card. Ooh, not even a scratch. Another one costing black extra card. It's a counterattack, negate the attack, and then activate main, choose one, send this card from your drop area to your warp, draw a card. So it's like a Raider's Warcry in a sense, except for it does something a little bit more. Instead of getting a body on the field, or no, not even that, not even a Raiders Warcry, the other draft box monkey, uh, it negates the attack. It's going to negate an attack, and then, at any time when it's in your drop area on your main phase, you can just pay one, draw a card. I'd say definitely a must-have. It is a rare, so pick them up if you see them. And we're on the last page, which doesn't have anything. So that's the rundown of cards I think, in my opinion, you need to pick up for the draft, or from the draft box that's going to be coming out. Can't wait for this draft box to come out. Because I'm just ready to do some drafting and try to pick up some money cards from this. Kind of wanted to talk, like, a brief moment on, like, because I don't know if anyone else is having this problem with their locals and with their Dragon Ball community in their area. But I've stated before that I feel like Dragon Ball is kind of, in a lot of ways, dying in my area, which is unfortunate. I said this in my last podcast as well, but I just feel like it's gone downhill, and I hate the days that we just don't get tournaments going, and that could just be due to people's schedules, and maybe Sundays aren't the best days for them. Sundays used to be the day at my locals to go. Now it's seeming more like Wednesday nights, which I can't always make Wednesdays. It just depends. Most of the time I can, though, and it's not much of a problem, because I'm trying to do, I try to go both days anyways every week if possible. But even the turnouts for those events, last Wednesday we got 7 people. And I just remember the days where we'd get like 10 plus sometime. There was one time we got like 30 some odd people at a locals before. And that just felt like the height of Dragon Ball, at least in my area. And it's just like slowly died down. And I just really don't want the game to die. And I hope it doesn't, at least in my area. By no means is the game dying anytime soon, because it's just getting better over time, in my opinion. I just wish in my area it would stay healthy. And I just wish we could get some growth. And hopefully we can. We got Imagine's Centaur Gaming Con in April that we'll be streaming. I'll be broadcasting that event for the Dragon Ball Super community. I hope we get a good turnout for it. It's the biggest event to date that I'll be streaming, and I'm hoping we just get a great turnout for it. I want people to show up. I want this card game to be rejuvenated within my area, and I want people to see that Arkansas has some good players, and we have something to bring to this community as far as content creation. And I hope I'm doing a good part in bringing that, because I'm trying to get our names out there. I'm trying to get my name out there. I'm trying to show that we're a force to be reckoned with, in my opinion. We have some of the best players in the game, in my opinion. Just haven't seen the light of day. But that's going to end the podcast for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I enjoyed going over the cards with you. And I hopefully next Wednesday we get a locals going off, and I can report to you what I played and how well I did with it, because I am going to be playing. Hopefully, if I get the cards in for the deck, I'm going to be building and playing for that. I hope to report to you how well I did with the deck. because I think it'll be a surprise to y'all. So, see y'all in the next episode of the Porunga Palace podcast. Thank you very much, and good night.